Welcome back, everyone. Last time, Orlando got shot, and then he got better, and then he died from an unrelated gun wound, and that was the Benson bad end of all things, which is itself a point of confusion a little bit, but that's the Benson bad end is that Orlando gets shot twice and dies once. And also, unrelatedly, but maybe relatedly in the grand scale of things, Roswell died, which had Toaster considering that maybe this was the good end, actually. But we'll never know. So, no, not skip the next choice. Just fast forward through the... Give up. Go. Oops. He got shot again. Bad end, Benson. We were thinking about what we could do differently. And as far as I know, we don't currently have a different outcome.
Yeah, I don't think we do. Now, we don't have any other passwords. It asked us to resonate. Do we just want to free associate? Because I think we do have some words. Don't we have like a name? Didn't we get a name from Sal?
I don't... Shit.
I don't remember what it was. It was like the god of
context, we spent the last
Somnus.
5 minutes trying to tell what we were supposed to do next. This was a bad time to take a break, potentially. Maybe
Yeah,
Somnus?
it's been a few weeks.
Angry beep. Shit.
Okay, we didn't get
What is
that.
the
That was my best guess.
I don't think the checkpoint took us back to before the choice was made. Confusingly.
Mm-hmm.
You think that the...
I don't know.
I thought that... you kind of thought that the... load... We kind of thought that the placement of the door moments were like checkpoints that would take you back to before the choice that caused the current bad thing. I think I just need to go even further back to some older save until... Because there's a part where we chose...
We asked Tyson before because this was a point where Tyson was like...
What is the scene? What would you have done differently if you were Orlando? What did Orlando do?
Huh.
Oh, it's when... This is when Orlando asked out Sal.
Yes, this is when Orlando asked out Sal. We're professionals, everyone.
Wasn't this I thought this was a choice. Why didn't it stop me at a choice? Was it not a choice?
No, I think one of the choices we had, was it during the scene where Orlando gets shot, we had a choice of something to do?
I don't think so.
I guess not, you're right, because it was Dave and Tyson.
We already skipped past it
Or
again,
Dean
and
and
it didn't stop us
Tyson,
anywhere.
yeah.
I guess I thought we had the choice to go hang out with to check on Orlando instead of Sal, but maybe we didn't. Fuck. I may need to just go in the Discord and ask for advice, because we took a break and I don't remember what was happening.
I mean, worst case, we just change some of the choices we have that do come up and we can see what happens.
Well,
I don't know
know where to find a choice is the issue.
Well, these are choices, right? Or do we have to ask all three of them?
We did all three of them.
Oh, I see where we are. Maybe we just need to load the next earlier save.
Okay,
oh no, here we go. Follow Tyson, I guess.
Right? So this was... So Tyson stormed off from Roswell being a little shit to Tyson. Okay. I mixed up which of the two scenarios was the person storming off that we could follow because of the Orlando Sal incident. Okay, yeah. So this time we'll...
I don't remember what we did last time anymore.
Surely we followed Tyson, right?
I think we did, because fuck Roswell.
Yeah, like, of course we followed Tyson, because Tyson's, like, one of the most sympathetic characters so far. So we'll stay, because why would we ever stay? Ty could take care of himself, as heartless as it sounded in my head. Everyone else was here, so the chances of the worst happening was almost nil, right? What? I guess because we're operating under the assumption that one of us is a murderer and not some
Yeah.
other outside threat that you're now leaving Tyson alone with.
Yeah.
So, my attention turned from looking into the foyer to Orlando, who was drumming his fingers against the table. I want to apologize. You alright? If I'm being honest, it stings a lot, but I'll be alright. Took guts to do that, but Ramen is my senpai.
Ramen is my senpai. Agreed. Admitting that to someone takes some courage, to be sure.
Wait, you're awake, Haas?
Just resting my eyes. We've had a big day. Less people involved, the better, too.
I see.
These things are difficult. Difficult? I forgot my Roswell voice for a second. And I was like, oh yeah, like annoying little brother character. Matters of the heart. I don't get it. How best to put it? Making yourself vulnerable. Opening your heart to another in hopes of letting something greater in. It's a tough call to make. Sure, but why not just do it in private, where it's safer?
Sal sighed, rubbing his head.
For Orlando's sake, and ease of explaining, let me explain how my first crush went.
Sal, no, you don't have to do that. You already had to explain it once today.
No, it's fine. Broad strokes will do. It was a long time ago. Back when I still lived with my parents. I took a sip of water right before reading that line and it stuck in my throat. Hold on.
He's dead.
Was a county... Yeah, I'm dying. It was a county fete that we went to. Some community event. A mole that I used to hang around with and had grown fond of was there. They were small. I thought they were cute. Clever, too. I assumed that, given we were on good terms, there was no harm in confessing my affections to them. In public, too. I didn't care. All that mattered was that I expressed my feelings and shared what love I had gathered with them. What happened next?
Well, he's not currently dating them, is he? I mean, everything could work out in the moment, and then you just aren't dating them years later.
Clearly. More importantly, it was a mess, and not my proudest moment. I made a much bigger show of it than I should have, and in turn they shut me down. Said I was embarrassing and that maybe we shouldn't hang out anymore. I guess I shouldn't be as bothered about this as I am, but my curiosity is going to drive me insane otherwise. You see, Orlando is a little brother despite being different species. That is fairly easy to explain.
Sal, no, you don't.
He reminds me a lot of my little sister. The way he smiles, cares for others, Plus what motivates him, it reminds me of home before I moved away. Ah, that was callous of me. Sorry.
I'm guessing that his little sister's dead.
Maybe his sister's dead, or maybe he moved away because he's estranged from his family or something. I think it would. I think it's interesting because we don't really have a super clear image, of like what
we
is
have to
in their past.
It's like when we had to judge the severity of the reaction to Dean's meatballs joke.
Yeah,
where we are like, this is such a severe reaction that we were like, is Orlando trans or something? Is that what you mean? Because they reacted so severely. It's like they reacted severely enough to this that we're like, is his sister dead?
I think you can do really interesting things with having like third-party information like that. Like if this is just a conversation that they're having that we overhear and like we just wouldn't know the context of it, so we have to put it together. But we just don't have a lot of like this is I think the first time Sal has even talked about having a family, so it's just like it's introducing the family with a little bit of a dramatic element that just makes it a little bit hard to tell what we're supposed to take from it, you know?
Like one of the I don't know if I'd go as far as one of my favorite movies, but I really do like ship in a bottle movies. And so I really enjoyed the film Lock, which is the entirety of that is just Tom Hardy in a car on the freeway talking on his cell phone. And that's the entire film. And over the course of the drive, just from the conversations he's having on his phone, you slowly piece together why he's on this drive, why it happens to happen now, who the characters are involved, what the stakes are, and why he's doing this, what he's leaving behind, and what he's driving towards, and so on. And that's the entire film, and I fucking love that stuff. So you can definitely,
that's pretty sweet.
You can make stories that aren't just about where you don't just explain everything up front, but you really have to be sure what the implications, like how they're going to land, and if they're going to land the way you want them to.
Yeah, I'm just curious now. I'm curious what his family life is like. I can relate though, being the older brother to 2 siblings myself. Not a day goes by that I don't look at pictures I have of them on my phone. Is that
the pride?
Is that I guess maybe it's just lying culture. I'm an older sibling, and I do not look at pictures of my younger sibling. In fact, I forget they exist very frequently. Maybe.
I wonder. I think the bigger the age gap, the more that might happen potentially. Thinking about how like Stephanie was old enough that she essentially helped parent a lot of her siblings.
Yeah.
And that is a very different dynamic. It says as opposed to a lot of people being 1 or 2 years apart from their sibling. Throw me into the older brothers club too, although only got a younger brother. Not that little you named the bear Freddy.
Yeah. Dean Fazbear.
Yeah, Dean Fazbear. Not that little Freddy is so little anymore. Still likes chocolates as much as a kid though. People grow out of liking chocolate.
Aren't these characters like 19?
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. I don't have any siblings. Just my mother and father. But I guess Dave was like an older brother growing up.
It does seem realistic though that like young people do constantly talk about themselves like they're older than they really are. Up to including like it's like I get psychic damage whenever I cover a video game that's like a 10 years old or less, and people say stuff like, wow, I remember this game from when I was a kid. I'm like, yeah, you can't. This game's not old enough for anyone to have been a kid while playing it and are now no longer a kid to a significant margin that they would think back to when they were a kid. Like that's like a response to stuff like Skyward Sword gets. And I'm like, no, incorrect.
Yeah. I don't remember the exact context, and I'm gonna put someone on blast real quick here. But
get them, kill them.
Good friend of the channel and close friend of mine, Kettle Chips, my Twitch stream mod, was just talking to me one day, and I don't remember the exact game he said. So I'm gonna use an example that sounds right to me, but I don't know if it's completely right. He's not even that much younger than me. But he was like, yeah, I have a lot of fond memories growing up playing Gears of War with my dad. And I was just like, I literally was like, Kettle, I cannot have this conversation with you right now. You literally just, you made me feel like I am geriatric. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation about those games. You are not allowed to tell me that you were 6 years old in your dad's lap while playing Gears of War. I just won't accept it. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
It's
upsetting. Just not okay.
Yeah, I'm like, the Xbox 360 came out in 2006, right? So Gears of War was like when
I think it was 07 or 08, yeah.
Yeah, it came out when I was 17 or 18. Like, that's upsetting. You can't hit me with stuff like that.
Exactly. And, you know, I don't think he was actually that young. I think he was like probably 12 or 13 or something. But I was like, Kettle, I cannot talk to you about this. I'm sorry. This conversation is over right now.
I never get hit by this stuff because almost my entire friend group's older than me.
Yeah.
You're like the exception at this point.
I'm not even that much younger than you. I'm 3 years younger than you.
Yeah, that's younger than my brother, which is like that has context.
I guess that's
you're
fair,
younger than my little brother, which makes you seem like a baby. but you're still not gonna be like, oh, when I was a wee lad, I used to play Skyward Sword before I knew how to get out. I was still in diapers. You're like, the fuck? Wait, yeah, that's me. Right, yeah. Wait, really? Me? Wait, no. Shit. Yes, that is me. 2 4-letter D names with almost the same letters really fucks with me. Every now and then I'm like, wait, which one am I? And their names are brown and orange.
But both of them are you.
They're both me, but I mean me as in POV.
Oh, yes.
Like, which one is the hyena? And the hyena isn't the color of his name in any way. I guess he has an orange hoodie, is why it's orange. Wait, really? Me?
Of course. I even copied your haircut. You never noticed?
You got it after you watched the Trolls movie. We all got Trolls haircuts. I found my hand going to brush over the top of my head, much like Roswell was doing to prove his point. Look at this distinct hairstyle. It's so recognizable. It's the floof on top of a furry's head. I didn't realize family was that important to everyone at the table.
I mean,
I know.
Two
I know
people
that
participated in this conversation.
I understand that there's people that family's not that important to. Exhibit A being toaster, but like, this is usually an assumed default. So I'm just like, being surprised by it is just a hell of a comment to have.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are various things I didn't know about their personal lives, as it never really came up. But now seemed to be the time to ask. Are you guys friends?
Yeah.
I know, it's like, oh,
that is the question.
I never got into the details of yeah, it's like, I never got into the details of your specific niche interests in computer science is like a thing that doesn't come up very often, maybe, or like your exact collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but like, whether or not family is important to you, I feel like comes up sooner in your closest friend group than like this death game. Ask about their personal lives, Sal, obviously. So, you have a sister? You have a sister, right, Sal?
That's right. Younger sister. I'd ask if she was like mine, but I don't think yours would want to brush your mane.
Was like...
No.
What age do little girls get into real makeup? Don't need fur for that.
Oh, good point. Generally depends on what they watch on TV. I remember. We played house a lot. And doctor.
Were you the doctor, Sal? I know you know some first aid at least.
No, that was her favorite. I was either a nurse or an unconscious patient.
You got all of her training from those Elsa videos.
What about playing house? Freeloading, brother.
Your sister's a savage. And you didn't try and stop her?
Why would I? When we played, she was the boss. I loved playing with her like that. But to get walked all over? I don't think I'd let my siblings get away with that. Boundaries and all that. Okay, dude, you're playing with a little sibling. Maybe that's not exactly boundaries, buddy. It wasn't disrespectful, was it? I didn't mind letting her take control of things. If she was happy, I was happy.
And I like to lose control sometimes. For the rest of the afternoon, we just idly chatted, comparing life stories until it was time for dinner to be sorted. Orlando's mood picked up more, and we just chatted as a group too. By the time we had to consider what we were doing for dinner, he was back to his cheery, bubbly self. When the question of who was cooking came up, Sal was the first to head toward the kitchen. Soon after him was Haas, supposedly to go lend him a hand. While we were still a fair way from having dinner sorted, I figured I should go check on Tyson, thinking back to his interest in Sal cooking chicken. Ty? You down here? The lights were on, so maybe he was using the gym? I stuck my head in, but he wasn't there, at least not based on the sound or smell. My eyes settled on the door to the vault. I was curious. Something was drawing me to the room, to the door beyond, and the keypad next to it. The first few steps were slow, and I did it, and then we go up to the password, and then I go, big, scaly bottoms. Nope. Not that, I guess.
We can try Dreamer again, maybe. I want to understand something.
You want to try Dreamer again in this context?
Yeah, so the thing I'm trying to confirm is that the passwords only work once, only at specific times, because it means if it doesn't work, that means every single time the game puts us in front of this screen, it's looking for a specific password. It's not looking for the password. I was wondering
about that, because earlier in this playthrough, I was like, there are a lot of visits to the door. Like, it's not like we see the door at the beginning of the game, and then we have to always go back to the beginning of the game to change the timeline. It's always like, there's several times that we visit the door, and that makes it, like, temporally confusing, like how the passwords interact with, like, the overall storyline and everything. So it's interesting to know that they only happen at specific spots, and you have to have visited a door at that specific moment. There was somebody that was asking why we don't discuss the passwords much, like theorizing what they're going to be and so on, and guessing more. And for me, the reason for that is just the simple fact that, like, it's just not. It's usually not a good idea. It's usually not how you're supposed to actually play a game like this, even though it technically prompts you to. It's like in an escape room. If you guess the code or password to something, you're just ruining the escape room, because you open something without solving it, and then later on you're going to solve puzzles that are going to dead end in a password you already used because you guessed it earlier.
Or you get confused because you guess a solution to a puzzle, and then you find clues later that you think are related to other things, and then it just turns out they're for the thing you solved. And
you don't understand that because you didn't get to use them to solve the puzzle. But then narratively, like, generally speaking, these passwords, you're in a game like this, you're generally supposed to know the password at a specific point and use it at that point. And it has, even though it's technically a rewind, like it is a new timeline that's done in response to and in the context of the timeline where you got the password. So if you experience the password timeline without the bad end that leads to it, then, like, that's just the narrative not working at that point. Like, you're just not reading the book correctly, essentially.
For me, it's pretty simple, right? Like, on that note, like, the passwords are given to us, and what we just now fully established is that the game is looking for specific passwords at specific points. So let's say there are
Yeah.
36 passwords in the game or whatever. I don't know how many there are.
Oh yeah, like astronomically unlikely to guess the password even if you try.
Exactly.
Because you have to get the right
And, like,
password at the right time.
Exactly. So not only are you just guessing words, we have to figure out what words are thematically relevant for a scene we have not yet seen yet
Yeah, and then
at
all
the
we
right
do,
time.
all we would be doing is making the story worse for us and for our audience, and then they're mad at us for the thing we did. And then,
Yep.
as inevitably happens, we'll also just be accused of cheating and looking it up whenever we get anything right. So it's just, there's no
Yeah.
upsides to guessing. So until we're given any reason to believe by the game that there's ever a reason to guess for real, we're not actually going to try to guess the passwords, because that's kind of dumb. Like, that's extremely, like, in Zero Escape, there are passwords in different routes, but you'd just be playing the game wrong if you just looked them up and got them right the moment you were prompted with the password prompt. You're supposed to be like, what the fuck? This whole route ends in me not knowing a password? What does that mean? This guy's fucked. And then you do the Zero Escape thing and find the password in the game, because that's the point. And that's why we don't do them. He still got shot. What the fuck?
Okay. So we learned a little bit more about about Sal's family.
He still got shot? He still got shot?
I don't know, man. Maybe we gotta go even further back.
I wonder if the whole Tyson scene still played out the same way, or did we ask the wrong person about their family? You know who should ask about their family is the one with the Dragon Mafia. Remember the Dragon Mafia?
I do remember the Dragon Mafia now.
I guess that ending does kind of prompt you to ask about the Dragon Mafia. We should ask about the Dragon Mafia. Remember the Dragon Mafia?
It's funny because I was writing a story about a bat. I don't want to give away too many ideas, but I was writing a story for a while about a bat that works at a nightclub run by the mob, and the mob was a kobold mafia. It was a kobold mafia because I thought it was a really funny idea.
It's the kobold.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it is funny that happened here.
Your parents are bankers, right, Orlando? Any brothers or sisters I've never met? You've been to my house before. It's only been myself and my parents.
That seems lonely. It can be, depending. Friends become your family to the point where you get really protective of them and murder all of your other friends in the middle of the night for fun.
Or immortality or something. Time travel, maybe? So we need to all go loop through this mansion in order to stop the pandemic.
I look to Roswell, wondering if that claim was the reason he had been behaving odd. At the same time, though, I wondered if that was why I'd become too defensive of Tyson. Friends really do become family. But only Tyson. Everyone else can go fuck themselves.
Having siblings, even just one, is a blessing. Orlando is much like this to me.
Oh, Sal, maybe, I'm flattered, but I want to jump those bones. For the rest of the afternoon, we just idly chatted, comparing life stories until it was time for dinner to be sorted. What? Well, that wasn't it. He gave us almost nothing. I did pick Orlando, right?
You did pick Orlando, yes.
Yeah, let's just pick everyone,
I mean,
guess.
you can try it again, maybe?
Anyway. What was your home life like, Haas?
Not all that out of the ordinary, really. Dad worked during the day. Sometimes Mom would as well. Outside of school, I took care of my younger brother and sister.
Sounds like my upbringing. Less so about Mom, though. She's stopped working when I came along.
Mine was like Dean's until I moved out here.
When did you move out this way?
A while back. Few years, maybe more.
You know, like before we met or something. No additional details. And you, Haas? I'm a local, so I've been pretty much the whole time. Been here pretty much the whole time, like Dave.
Couple years back, give or take, and things I needed to sort out. Like my connection to the Dragon Mafia. Still fly back to see the family every now and again, though. Even if it's only for a weekend.
No, hold on. I want to know what Haas needed to sort out.
Nosy.
What, are you taking an interest in your friends? Next, you're going to
Picking
find
up
out
this
that
very obvious conversational lead that he's dropped into the sentence.
Yeah. Next, you're going to find out that they care about their families and other strange trivia. Moving out of home has a lot of things that come with it, Dave. Namely, finding a place to live, a job so you can pay rent, those sorts of things.
Why is he talking to Dave like Dave doesn't know what it takes to move out? It's not a mystery.
Yeah.
What?
You may
Moving out
not
of
know
home
this
is-
as an adult, but
Moving out of home is a bit of a task, but well worth it for the independence.
this is dumb, but Haas's hands bother me because his thumb is inside of his fist. And I took a little martial arts when I was back in like middle or high school or whatever, and it's just like the first thing you're taught is to never put your thumb inside of your fist because you'll just break your thumb if you do anything with your hand.
Yep.
So now it's just reflexively just, and also because it's like whenever I put my thumb inside my fist, like inherently it feels wrong, like I'm making my thumb vulnerable and easier to break essentially just at any kind of time. So I'm always nervous if I see someone's thumb inside their fist, which I think
I think he
People
just
usually-
has little paws.
people usually don't
That's
do
his
that.
paw pose.
I don't think it is. I think that's his thumb bent. I think
He's-
the last
he's a
digits
little-
inside of his fist. It's like, don't squeeze
he's a
your
little
thumb.
meow meow kitty. He's a little
Squeezing
meow
your
meow
thumb is
kitty doing a little
uncomfortable.
pob pose.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember the fan art. Crimson Rabbit drew a little picture of Toaster going yeah, being picked up by Sal, and then Sal just yeeting him into the pool. Just be gone. I forgot the context for that. Was that like was that a response to a specific conversation we had?
Yeah. I was talking about like, are we gonna go in the pool together? No. And then it was stupid. It was fine.
All the way across the country?
Hey, gotta move away if you want to make it big. Apparently, at least makes it easier to go to casting calls. That's for sure.
Where do we live? Are we in LA?
I don't know. A nondescript place. I think the writer of this is Australian, maybe. So I don't know.
We moved because he moved out to be an actor.
Sure.
So where do we live? Because that implies something about where we live, right? Like,
Yeah.
Georgia?
Sydney, Australia. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know the acting scene in Australia, but like in the US, I'm like, are we in LA? Are we in Atlanta? Like, where are the big acting sites? Like, those are
New York,
two,
LA,
right?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
New York, LA, Atlanta.
You see a lot of that Georgia peach in TV shows these days.
Yeah, that's mostly a shooting thing. It's less casting, but a lot of actors do live there because it makes travel to sound stages easier. But that's irrelevant. I think they're probably in. I think Haas is meant to be living somewhere in LA. I don't know.
It stood out to me ever since the fortuitous coincidence of The Walking Dead being set in Atlanta, and also that becoming a huge hotspot for filming things in real life anyway. And so there you go. Good news for the Walking Dead show until they move north after a couple seasons.
For the rest of the afternoon, we just idly chatted, comparing life story. It's probably Roswell because of whatever the fuck's going on in the story, so I'm gonna go with Dean. Just clear him out. So, Dean, about your family. What about him? You met Freddy before, right? I think so, but like, you said little, right? Well, he used to be little. I may be older, but he dwarfs me. Maybe close to Sal's height if he gets a little taller, but he's still my little superstar. Oh, is he that big bear that owns a pizza place? Okay, well now it's not a joke.
Yeah, no. Fuck.
This is up there with the mama moment. Yeah, that's him. How does he own a pizza place? He's your younger brother and you're like 20.
Yeah, wait, what?
How did he inherit it from the family business? I thought your family was like loggers or something. What are they again?
What the fuck?
Were they rangers or something? I feel like they had a nature-y job. I don't know if this...
really strange.
I'm not sure if this joke scans, actually. Maybe it should be your big brother.
Yeah. That's your brother? You look nothing alike.
There's a family resemblance. I promise. Is that resemblance that you're both bears? Hey now. Freddy's just, I guess, closer to a mom's side of the family. I'm closer to dad's side. I know your dad's side went into lumber business, but what did your mom do, Dean? For the most part, she was a stay-at-home housewife, at least from what I remember. Before that, she ran her own bakery. Was his dad Smokey? Wasn't that also implied?
Yeah, it was like his grandpa was Smokey the Bear or something.
We're just shipping the family lineage of every known bear character in real life.
Yeah.
Is his last name gonna be like Bernstein? Just rope them all in at once. How am I only finding out about this now? Dean, how am I only finding out about this now? It never came up before. But I guess that's where Freddy got his business sense from. I can introduce you at some point if you want. If you can take a break from knocking me out dead cold for making balls jokes. Because we're friends now, I guess. That'd be great. I bet she had some great recipes, and I have plenty to share.
I have another question.
Sure, shoot.
Your brother owns Petey's Pizza, right?
Yep, that's Dean's brother.
Wait, didn't he just say his name was Freddy, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. The game just got to that. Okay, so his name is Freddy, right?
That's it, yeah. Wait, then who's Petey? Oh, that'd be my brother. You have a second brother? No, this is gonna sound dumb, but it's all branding. They're gonna find out that they couldn't get the rights to Freddy Fazbear because of the other continued joke about the real IP. Branding? Is it because of the alliteration? Well, actually there's a licensing issue. I know how to write things.
Yeah.
Apparently someone else has the monopoly on bear-themed pizza restaurants, so, yeah.
That's scary. Yep, sure.
What, the bear theming or the monopoly?
Both?
For the rest of the afternoon, we just idly So no, it's not Freddy. It's not that Freddy, because that Freddy also exists, and they have a licensing issue. I could tell where that was going a few lines early.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still flattered you saw me as an older brother, Roswell.
Really? You never knew?
Oni-san?
I guess. I never really thought about it. I assume that was the case. I can't exactly style my hair the same way, but you always just seemed, I don't know, better at guiding us? You can't style your hair the same way?
How is Dave better at guiding them? Dave hardly knows some of these people.
I'm just like... I can't
I'm getting
style
really
my
confused
hair.
about the friendships here. It's just
I'm
I'm a little bit
remember
lost on that.
Trying to remember what Dave's hair looks like, because I have to like look at my own thumbnails because I don't see it in the game. But I'm confused by the idea that Roswell can recreate Dave's hair, but not Orlando. When Roswell and Orlando look like they have the same hair, like the same. It's almost drawn the same but mirrored. So I'm like, what does that mean? Wait, me guiding? I'm just the guy that holds the flashlight. Someone else normally has the map. I assume this is a metaphor, because I don't know what he's talking about otherwise. He has a flashlight on the start screen, but that hasn't come up yet. Do they do group activities? Normally?
It didn't seem like it.
They don't do them in this trip that they're taking together, so do they normally have group things that he can lead?
If I hadn't seen you literally playing with one, I'd have thought you were just making a metaphor.
Here, I got you a metaphor.
Would you believe at one point Dave was afraid of the dark?
Hey, I wasn't afraid of it, I just didn't like it. Who does?
Hey, don't knock it till you tried it. You can get a lot of stuff done in the dark.
Until you
Like
don't,
murder.
Don't knock the dark until you've tried the dark? What does that mean? I've never experienced the dark. Just didn't seem like my thing, so I never got even a shot. You know, like it's like Street Fighter. It's a real big barrier to entry to the dark.
It's just fucking silly. Really goofy.
I never thought to ask, Roswell. What do your parents do? You've never thought to ask what his parents do. And he sees you as his older brother because you're so close.
Oh, has this never come up before?
I expect this to be like a plot real relevant thing that instead Roswell has a history of just dodging the question for. It would almost fit better. Mainly because I'm just ready for more reasons to not trust Roswell.
Dad is a criminal law attorney and Mom is a neuroscientist specializing in psychology, I think.
You've ever
his
heard
mom
about
is the one behind the whole
morphogenic
thing, I'm
field
sure.
theory?
Literally, yeah. His mom's it's gonna turn out her name is Akane or something.
No!
I'm like 100% sure that his mom is behind it now that he just said
We
that.
get some kind of fucking reveal, like Roswell was born in June is the nod or something. Swear to God.
Whoa, they must earn the big bucks. Dude, lawyers actually, like most lawyers are not paid that well.
Yeah,
it is
look at-
very hard to make it as a lawyer.
Look at poor little Slip and Jimmy.
Oh, man.
I suppose so. I didn't really think about it much.
When people confront me with my privilege, it makes me uncomfortable and I reject the thought.
Criminal law, huh? Scary. For the rest of the afternoon, we just... Okay, passwords. Concerned. What have we done? What can we do differently? Huh. Well, I guess I'll see it through. Just yeah. There's this moment again. Ah, shit. Oh. Just to see if anything changes, like maybe after. No. Beta. Load. Is it gonna save or load?
I don't know, Keith. You tell me.
No, don't overwrite my save. Let me load. Rude. Okay, resonate, yes. Now I can load. Rude. No, I can't load. Okay.
Family? You can
Can I
try
please-
family?
Maybe.
I don't know. Nope.
Alright, I guess I'll just have to go back to title because it won't let me load. I'm gonna check the Tyson route just to see if there's a different option while we were there. Follow Tyson.
Tell him we don't want to sniff his pits or whatever.
No, that was the
I guess
beginning of the
not.
game.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the most important choice in the game, Keith.
Yeah, that's the maybe the mistake is being with Sal at all. It's time to go back and
Oh,
pick
no.
someone else. All right, let's
Maybe
go
we need to-
further back.
Yeah, just a little bit further back.
See what the choices are. Wait or pry.
Wait. I don't know.
Apparently goes by Somnus, another language. Bringer of God Death. Sal seems concerned about something. Maybe he's just thinking something over. I think we probably pried last time. This seems like all the way back before Sal's death.
I think it was.
I waited for Sal's response, although I wasn't sure if he'd heard me. He'd moved from where he was standing and was now just pacing back and forth, arms folded tight over his chest before they returned to his sides.
Maybe.
I continued to wait. Before it seemed Sal had just entered a cycle of pacing, stopping, considering, before resuming pacing back and forth. I think we just get one less conversation, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's what happens.
Let's go play video games, Sal. I don't know if they're your thing, but we could probably find something you like.
I like video games.
The frown he wore didn't exactly scream that he was thrilled about the prospect, though. Really?
Not the complicated ones, though. I like the ones with puzzles.
Yay!
Puzzle games are like the
Marry
most
me.
complicated games.
Marry
What are you talking
me.
about, Sal? Completely lost me. No, no thanks.
Puzzle
I will
game-
never. I'm
lot of
not going
people
to touch
see-
a puzzle game.
a lot
I'm
of
a
people see-
hardliner.
I love puzzle games. He's mine now. I win. I won the route. Marrow good end. Toaster bad end. This was a competition and I won. Surprise. A lot of people see puzzle games as more approachable because you usually don't need inputs to like
Yeah.
any sort of complex inputs or like skill check or timing. You just need to sit there and figure the thing out and it's satisfying.
Unfortunately, you need to have a brain, which is very difficult to have when you are a raccoon on the internet with a walnut in your head.
Why are you so lame? Why are you gonna tell me that you bounced off of Mist? You were like, this is too complicated, I can't do this.
No, I finished Mist, but
Scary
I've never
pre-rendered
beaten.
images.
I've never beaten the Witness, so
What? You're in Andrew Club.
Yeah, I'm in the Andrew Club. Yeah, I have one brain cell, dude.
Oh my god.
Or Tetris.
I wouldn't have picked you for Tetris. Or puzzles either, really. You never guessed the quiet introvert loved quiet puzzles. You thought he was a boomer shooter lad. You think Sal teabags?
I like the flashing lights and happy music. Reminds me of my little sister.
Oh, you have a sister?
Yeah, haven't visited her in a while, though.
Okay, so she's not dead.
Yeah.
Haas referred to the sister in the past tense
Or-
earlier, so I was like, what does that mean?
Or he's saying he hasn't visited her grave.
Oh. Why? Sal looked off into the distance a bit before looking back to me. It was hard to place what emotion he was feeling based on the lack of expression, but I guessed he was uneasy.
Let's talk in the dining room. I could use a drink before we get into this.
Oh. That's different. There's me with the drink. You really want me to, then okay.
No, this is the bad answer. This is asking him out.
We want no. But I guess he just didn't get into the topic with the sister, right? Or did we already talk about the sister in that scene too?
No, I guess he just didn't talk about it. And we still get the bad end because we didn't put in Dreamer as the code.
Yeah. All of a sudden it went dark as if someone cut out the lights, reaching on the... Yeah, I guess what goes on here is that you don't go in the vault. You just get a vision in the spot. You don't... It just seemed that it was implied that you went in. Cook with Sal or Orlando. I believe we've done both. No, we haven't. We still haven't cooked with Orlando. I wandered over to where Orlando was, heading a cabinet under the bench. How goes finding that fire extinguisher? How goes finding that fire extinguisher? We have a couple, thankfully. I'm just expecting the worst. He can't be that bad, can he? Yes, he can. We both look over to where Sal was in the pantry, looking at some red spice in a jar. I did say flour, right? I think so, yeah. Oh, dear. Let me go give him a hand. Orlando wandered over to Sal, guiding his head back into the pantry to put the spice back, and pulled out the flour, handing it to him before wandering back. Well, this is gonna be exciting. He had paprika. Why paprika? No idea, but I suppose we can get the rest of the stuff ready for him. We set about gathering a pan, a bowl, and a few other bits that Sal might need before he returned. So, what did you have in mind to teach Sal before realizing what skill set he had? Oh, Grandpa had this soup that he really liked, so maybe that? But I think a gourmet soup is maybe a little too much. Maybe I should have just helped him make a cake or something. Well, hey, pancakes are a good start. Maybe he can make breakfast one of these days for us. That'd be nice, but we'll have to see where we end up on that front. Actually, you said your dad taught you to make pancakes, right? Yeah, why? Sorry, if I'd known I would have brought that up, I would have brought that up. I would have picked something different. Okay, so background with Dave and his dad, apparently.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can still talk about Dad and pancakes and stuff. Sure, I started to put how I thought into words. Orlando already knew the full story, so there wasn't any need to go into details over it. I guess it's just one of those things where if we feel bad every time it comes up, we're not going to get anywhere, right? If you're sure. But still, I can understand if it's still a bit tender. It's been only a year, right? About that, yeah. Sorry. Who taught you to make pancakes anyway? Me? I guess that'd be my mother. Could have been Grandpa, though. He liked showing me things while Mother and Father were at work.
I hate the way that he just said, like, referred to his parents as while Mother and Father were at work. Oh, it's immediately, like, very sheltered. It sounds so strange. It's not bad, but it's like immediately like, ooh, I don't know if I can be friends with you.
I'm trying to remember whether or not Dave said that his dad taught him how to make pancakes earlier in the scene before the choice. Because if Orlando just knows that, that's like way more specific a detail than most people know about anything in this game about each other. But I think he might have mentioned that right before the split. At the bank, right? Well, Orlando stopped mid-thought, turning to look at Sal. Sal, what are you doing? I watched as he wandered over to where Sal was throwing things into the bowl haphazardly before detouring to the stove and removing a smoking pan off the flame. It didn't even flinch, but it looked hot. Low heat! Low! Just here. Orlando then started explaining the process with an air of authority and confidence that he didn't normally exude. If Orlando had a serious tone and voice, this was it. His passion for cooking coming through loud and clear. Okay, so measure in your flour, sugar, and start with the egg. Sal sheepishly followed along. At some point, Orlando had gone and just measured out all the ingredients for him to keep things simple. I figured I'd wander over myself and see how things were going. Mix that until it's almost like a ball of dough, and then we're going to... What? How do you make pancakes? Wait.
Wait, what? My dude, that is not how pancakes are made. What?
This is Orlando in his element, speaking with true authority. You'll never believe how authoritative and correct and in his element he is. So what you do is you mix the pancake batter until it's like a ball of dough. I'm so upset right now. How are you going to pour that on the pan? How is it going to spread into a pancake?
It's also just like very odd to be like, you mix it until it's a ball of dough and then add milk while mixing so it doesn't go lumpy. My brother,
so it doesn't
you
go
made
lumpy.
it a ball of dough.
Yeah, you made it lumpy.
It is inherently lumpy.
You made it lumpy first.
What is going on?
I'm trying to process what he's... I'm just like, are you hand rolling the pancake ball? I didn't like that sentence. Admittedly, I would have thought... Admittedly, I wouldn't have thought to consider that because it's insane. My method was a lot more throw everything in and hope for the best, but already Orlando's method was giving better results. If you wanted a bun.
Is this all right?
Sal had his voice down low, uncertain. I started feeling bad for him when Orlando started to scrutinize the batter he'd mixed. Butter the pan. Actually, let me do it. You don't want much, just enough to help it release from the pan. Then pour it in slowly, letting it build from the middle. Don't make circles. The batter will do that by itself. Unless you make it a ball of dough. Sal was visibly unconvinced, but didn't have a leg to stand on as far as arguing the point. Instead, he just followed the instructions as best he could. Apparently, being told what not to do was helping. Good. Now just... Actually, maybe just watch. Maybe you're not a great teacher if you need to only do it through demonstration. Orlando scooted in front of Sal without bothering to move him out of the way. Ooh, and in practice fluid motion, slipped a spatula underneath the pancake and flipped it by turning his wrist. This is his entire goal. He wants to get in bed with Sal. He wants to, like, trick Sal into spooning him while he bakes. Without waiting for commentary for either of us, he poured in the next bit of batter around the time I noticed Sal was supporting himself on Orlando's shoulder, peering over his head to see what happened in the pan. By comparison, Orlando was starting to go red, but standing very still as the pancake in the pan continued to cook. How about you give it a shot? You know, with your big arms. Around me. I'll stay here, and you cook. Spooning me. I've seen like 500 pieces of art of this exact scenario. Just as quickly as Orlando has stepped in front of Sal, he'd slipped away, hiding behind me and pushing me forward in the same motion as handing off the spatula to Sal. Here, Dave. Let's see how well you can teach. Wait, what? Between the two of us, Sal managed to get some headway into getting pancakes made. Granted, a lot of them were the product of Orlando stepping in before they could become too burned or misshapen. Well, we got pancakes at least. Sort of.
I'm sorry, Sal. I didn't realize how.
No, it's okay. Maybe we can try again sometime.
I'm just a 25-year-old fail son hanging out with people much younger than me because I never matured.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe you can show me what you can cook already, and then we can see what we can do with that. Like when you eat a whole head of lettuce, just a whole head of lettuce. We need to voice that animation. Can we voice that animation?
We can do it.
We need to voice over that animation with our dumb character voices. It's been in my head. The artist followed me on Twitter. We need to go voice that animation. I just keep thinking about that now.
Just tried tea for the first time, and I really don't understand why people like it so much. Drinking the broth was fine, but when it came to eating the actual thing, I was almost sick.
Hold it! What actual thing? What the hell did you eat?
A tea bag?
You ate the fucking tea bag?
Isn't that how you're supposed to make tea? It's supposed to be both a snack and a drink, right?
Sal. What the fuck is wrong with you?
He did what?
This fucker ate the goddamn tea bag.
You're supposed to only drink the tea, you maniac.
I didn't know that. I thought you were supposed to eat it like a muffin wrapper.
A what?
You eat the fucking muffin wrapper?
You are actually a monster.
Okay, but in my defense, I never had tea before and I didn't know how it was made.
That doesn't excuse how stupid you are for doing that.
Do you need a tutorial of how to eat?
I just wanted to make tea for the first time.